Isn't this a great morning to be in Houston, Texas? Don't we have a terrific 3 or 4 or 5 Chamber of Commerce days ahead of us to really show off what a great community we have? And you know, one of the elements of the community that we have here in Houston is our ability to make things happen. The magic of entrepreneurship, which began, I guess, with the Wildcatters, right, who have changed our lives by building this terrific great city and building the great city, the Port of Houston. What would Houston be today if it didn't have people many, many years ago that were smart enough to know that they needed to dredge out a bayou to get the ships to come a little bit up into this part of the Gulf Coast of Texas and make a difference? The Houston Technology Center is the largest technology incubator and accelerator in the state of Texas. We work side by side at any one time with about 60 emerging technology companies that have breakthrough technologies in energy, life sciences, IT, nanotechnology, and space technologies. We're unique in that we are a nonprofit incubator accelerator, so we greatly appreciate the sponsorship of organizations like PKF Texas and BoyarMiller and some of the others that are in your room today. Thank you, gentlemen, for that sponsorship. You are helping to build Houston. Forbes last year named the Houston Technology Center as one of 10 technology incubators that are changing the world. One of 10 changing the world. You two are helping to change the world. And it's not really the Houston Technology Center does, but it is the entrepreneurs that we work with side by side. And there's some great examples of entrepreneurs in the room today. Welcome Wilson Sr., who has been with us this morning. We've got BJ Farmer, who's a much younger entrepreneur who's building up. And kind of in the middle of that age group, we have Steve and his partner who have built another terrific company. Starting in 1996 with 3 people, today something in the order of 600 people. So it is this kind of energy in our community that has not only built our past and is building our current, but it's responsible for building our future, and we're pleased to be part of that. Now, the conversation today is about the technologies that are changing, that are important for our future. Houston is clearly recognized as the energy capital of the world, but that energy capital really is about, has been in the past, about oil and gas and oil field services. And yet, if you look at what's going on in the government and research laboratories, many of the breakthroughs are taking place in renewable energy, remediation, smart grid, and a number of other issues that are orthogonal to and different than the energy things. And do you know where those particular applications are being developed? Many of them are being developed in Southern California and in other parts of the country rather than Houston. Fortunately, in the last few years, Houston has recognized this and is now developing its own alternative energy companies. And Houston is going to shortly become globally recognized as a leader in energy. But this is something that I ask all of you, if you care about Houston being the energy capital, to focus on this, because we have to be not just the 20th century leader of energy, but the 21st century. Everybody thinks of Silicon Valley and Austin and Route 128 in Boston and Research Triangle Park as the leaders in information technology. In software alone, we have a $4 billion software economy employing some 24,000 workers. If you take the semiconductor industry out of Austin, I would say we're more than competitive in information technology. And why is information technology important? Because you can't analyze anything anymore without applying information technology. How do you think genomic medicine is going to take place if you don't have a huge database of information? You probably already know that the oil industry has these huge geophysical databases to determine what's going on in the ground. So information technology, which I think the pioneering big company in engineering technology was Compaq Computer, founded by Rod Canyon, who was one of our early chairmen of the Houston Technology Center. BMC software is another example, but information technology is critical to the future of our community. The Texas Medical Center is the largest medical center, and I'm sure you've seen that in the Houston Business Journal and the Houston Chronicle and other things. Over $1.3 billion of research takes place at the medical center by the 13,000 researchers in addition to the 65,000 healthcare workers in the medical center. But isn't it odd having the largest medical center and that much research, and where are the big pharmaceutical companies located? They're located in New Jersey. They're being grown up and being invested in California. So we have a challenge and an opportunity to make sure that the terrific research that's being done at all those medical center institutions is not commercialized somewhere else, that we benefit with jobs from the innovation that's taking place in our own community. I'm a very fortunate beneficiary of the information technology revolution. I got very interested in information technology when there were vacuum tube computers, had a great time, and that's how I started my career. So, Bill, I'll warn you that I'm really a techie still at heart. And as you've seen from the days in the early 60s when the forecast was there would be a total of 50 large computers, to where we are today, where you have more power in your watch probably than those early large computers had. You know, this is trillions and trillions of dollars. Nanotechnology is the next revolution. Nanotechnology will become a $1 trillion industry. And the birthplace of the science of nanotechnology was 25 years ago at Rice University, which included the late Rick Smalley and Robert Curl, still a professor at Rice University. And every new technology takes a while to mature. The telephone was invented, but the telephones weren't in everybody's home right away. Even television, a huge entertainment opportunity, took years and years to develop. The 25 years of technical history and early commercialization of nanotechnology is now reaching its cusp. It is now the time to commercialize it. The challenge that we have is in our community, we don't have a focused effort to take advantage of the intellectual property, while Asians, Germans, and others from around the world are constantly visiting Rice University and some of the other universities that also have nanotechnology, like the University of Houston is doing some work there, visiting and buying up the rights to, and licensing the intellectual property. Now, how would you like to be the birthplace of a $1 trillion industry but have none of the jobs? That's both the challenge, and it's here, it's the opportunity for us. Aerospace. Johnson Space Center is the largest R&D facility at NASA, employing thousands of people and many more thousands of contractors. They're going to have over $1 billion cut out of their budget, and there's going to be a lot of excess capacity of really smart folks. In fact, you might call them rocket scientists, right, who know how to apply technology in almost any conceivable way. And in fact, we've been working with Johnson Space Center to see if we can find a way, as those bright minds are looking for opportunities, that they can be deployed for entrepreneurship. A huge challenge for our community. Thousands of people going to be out of work. How do we keep them here, and how do we find something productive for them to do? So those are the technologies that I think are the 5 most important technologies for our community. They're technologies where we have a basis in, we've got expertise in, and I think now we've demonstrated enthusiasm that we can bring them to new heights.